I am drawing since 1 year, and in that period of time I consumed tons of tutorials to improve my art as fast as possible. And in this video I will show you which YouTubers or Patreons helped me the most. I want to make this video because I was in the same situation like you. Which artists should I watch, or which Patreons are really worth it? Let's start with the most obvious one. Sam does arts, and yeah, I was or still am one of his art babies. And that for an easy reason. He is an art god. And I know at my beginnings I thought like, yeah, he only can do this one art style. But I went to his older Instagram drawings and oh boy, what is that? And here it was so clear to me what kind of art god he is. I mean, even now his new realistic drawings are just beautiful. I especially like his sharp style. Like, I really don't know how to call it, but I think you know what I mean. But now, what did I learn from this goat? And don't be wondering, I destroyed my tripod, so, you know, less camera in this video. First of all, don't draw fear anatomy at all. I would say I learned all the rough basics from him. Starting with, as I said, anatomy / portraits and backgrounds to the coloring. But my coloring journey will have a big switch in that year, but we will get to that later. The biggest learnings I got from him was the mindset of doing less and getting more reward. With that I mean that it's not important to focus on the small details, it's more important to focus on the whole drawing. For example, how he draws hair. At first you would think, oh my god, how detailed and how much time did that take? But spoiler, that took only 15 minutes. And he made a tutorial, so without commenting his progress, it would be easily 10 minutes or even less. And you would think, damn, he definitely used thin brushes for the small details. No, he literally just used a round brush. And I learned from him how to play with values. And for that I did this black and white studies of statues. Just that you know how I improved, that was I started with 2 colors, black and white, and this is my latest one, which has many gray colors on it. You know, it's literally grayscaling. But wait, Raphael, you're not drawing like Sam here. Sam starts instantly with color and does not grayscaling. And yeah, that's true, but now we move to the next one, who really made me to that artist I am today, GUWEIZ. But before we start with him, let's make a conclusion to Sam. His YouTube channel is just like 20% of his tutorial experience. Can I recommend his Patreon? I would say yes, because besides of the tutorials, you also get a pretty nice Discord server, where you can meet nice people. I didn't meet anybody, cause I'm introverted, but I'm sure these people are friendly. But my big tip would be for you, go to his Gumroad and get the tutorials you want or need, because when you're in his Patreon, you never know which one will be the next tutorial. So in conclusion, very good for the basics, but later we will see maybe even a better option. Ah, did I hook you? Alright, I'm stopping. As I said, I started with grayscaling. First of all, what was my inspiration for that? Because I was really the type of guy who hated grayscaling. Like, it didn't make any sense to me. But then I saw this goat using this technique. And we are of course talking about GUWEIZ. I think many of you know him. He's in my opinion just a 11 out of 10. I love his compositions, like for example this drawing that took easily hours and a lot of patience. I mean, look at that. And it's just the beginning. As you can see, you can swipe and it gets even crazier and crazier. So long story short, after I saw his amazing art, I was like, alright, let's get the Patreon. And oh boy, that changed everything for me. I've learned how he starts his drawings and especially how rough everything starts. Now his compositions and drawings made sense to me. I was like, alright, I know how everything starts and ends. And to just have the feeling of knowing the process is just amazing. And of course he uses both options, grayscaling and instant coloring. By the way, I made a video about that. But because of him I tried that technique, and as some of you know, it changed everything for me. At all, I learned so much about character design, perspective and proportions. It's just crazy. What I appreciated the most was that his tutorials were so long. Like for that one drawing he literally made like 7 episodes and each one of them was over an hour. In conclusion, would I recommend his Patreon? Breaking, I just noticed that he made a class recently. If you want me to check it out, leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out. I would absolutely recommend his Patreon, but definitely not to straight beginners, because he doesn't do any anatomy tutorials or something like that. But if you're more advanced or just feel confident and you always wanted to know how he draws, check it definitely out. Now let's get to the alternative to Sam does art tutorials. And here we got Lotusbubble. I absolutely love her art style. I obviously see the Sam influence, but still the colors are so shiny and nice. And I especially learned a lot from her. This feels like an ad for her, literally. Before we got into her content, I want to give you a little bit of background why I even got her Patreon. So you know, I was done with the Sam tutorials, then I saw her Instagram, her amazing use of colors and light, and I was like, I need to know how that goes. Long story short, I got her Patreon. But then I was flabbergasted. You know, when I sat by by Sam that you get only one tutorial per month and you have no access to the older ones, guess what? In Lydia's Patreon you literally get all of her tutorials, plus the new ones that are getting released. It's just insane. I have to say the tutorials aren't that in depth, but I learned a lot from her. And the fact that you got like 40 tutorials, it's just amazing. In conclusion, I can highly recommend you her Patreon, especially if you are a beginner. Like I for example learned from her how to draw a stylized head shape and all the big eyes. And of course the use of layers to make the drawing really pop. So Lydia, if you see this, big fan, keep it up. Here we got a traditional artist and that is none other than Scott. We don't even need to start to talk about his art, it's just amazing. I want to talk about the learnings that he gives you. And with that I don't only mean his tutorials, no. What I really appreciate on Scott is how kind and awesome he is. Like no glazing, but some of his videos really helped me through tough times where I, didn't want to quit art, but to give for example up on a drawing that I started. And at all, his drawing process videos are so calm and especially positive. Or the short videos, like for example the last one that he uploaded, where he talked about his past and that he thought he was talented. And because of that he's much better than others, but shortly realized in art school that passion is the real key to success while being an artist. As I said, these positive messages can really help you at a bad and unmotivating day. And he even inspired me to start with traditional art. If you want a video about that, let me know in the comments. In conclusion, highly recommend it, especially when you struggle at the moment. Scott, if you see this, highly appreciate your content. Now let's get to the last one, Sinix design. Here we have someone that has all his tutorials on YouTube, so everyone can learn from him. What really inspires me is literally his first video. It's literally 17 years old. Bro, the video is 2 years younger than me. That is just crazy. But that shows his dedication, passion and patience. But now let's get back to his tutorials. Yes, his art style is a little bit different, but you get every basic tutorial starting with the skin to the hands and of course some drawing techniques. I don't really know what I should add to here. He's very experienced and you can learn so much from him. The only problem that I see here is his art style. It's very special and I know that there are many people who just want to get that Sam art style and not something like that detailed or that, But nevertheless, it's still a very good channel to especially learn coloring and rendering. I'm sorry for my camera, but if you enjoyed this video, I would highly appreciate if you'd like this video and subscribe to my channel. And if you know any artists to learn from, let me know in the comments. Peace out.